Human Rights Day is celebrated every 10th of December. The day is aimed at creating awareness and mobilize political will to promote respect for the rights and freedoms enshrined in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights adopted by the United Nations General Assembly in 1948. This year's theme is dignity, freedom, and justice for all, as both the Declaration and WHO's Constitution assert that health is a fundamental human right for all people. Over the years, human rights have become recognized and more guaranteed across the globe. It has since served as the foundation for an expanding system of human rights protection that today focuses also on vulnerable groups such as persons with disabilities, indigenous people, and migrants. But the promise of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights of dignity and equality in rights has been under a sustained assault in recent years, as the world faces challenges such as pandemics, conflicts, exploding inequalities, morally bankrupt global financial system, racism, and climate change. The values and rights enshrined in the UDHR provide guideposts for collective actions that do not leave anyone behind. For more on the significance of this day, let's talk to the former president of National Movement for Positive Change, Niyi Aborisade, who is joining us live via Zoom from Ibadan. Thank you so much for joining us on TVC News.
Thank you very much.
Right. How do you view the current situation in terms of human rights, especially in Nigeria?
The human rights of our people is being infringed upon on many occasions. Of course, our constitution in Nigeria guarantees us 7 basic human rights, which is right to life, right to the dignity of human person, a right to personal liberty, right to fair hearing, right to private and family life, right to freedom of thought, conscience, and religion, right to freedom of expression. However, some of these rights are not being properly adhered to by the authority. The regime, some current man, some state governors are using the tools of government to be oppressing the people by not allowing them their fundamental human rights, particularly right to freedom of thought, conscience, and religion. Recently, the wife of the president arrested one young man using the tools of the government as a means of oppression for someone that criticizes her. That she can go to court, no doubt about that. But using the tools of government to oppress a poor person is an infringement on fundamental human rights, and that is not good for this country. We should be able to allow people to exercise their fundamental human rights without resort to fear and intimidation. So the current human rights in Nigeria is not to write home about. Something has to be done, and it has to be done drastically, that the people are able to exercise their freedom.
Sometimes when we talk about the abuse of human rights, majority of us do look back to October 2020 during the EndSARS protest and what actually ensued afterwards. Amidst these lingering abuses, what more do you think can be done by the government to ensure that arrests, incessant arrest by police and illegal detention by people that are innocent citizens by police and other law enforcement agencies? What do you think exactly can be done to
if they can just follow the simple rule of habeas corpus, no one should be there in 24 hours without trial. And if there's a mechanism, we call it procedure, where if they want to continue questioning the person in detention, they can still apply for an extension of time. A rank of superintendent or superintendent officer of police can apply for an extension. And when they think evidence may be compromised, there could be further extension. But all this procedure must be adequately followed. Where the procedures are not followed, then people in detention will suffer. A lot of cases are there now. 10 years, 5 years, 7 years. Some people are in detention, they have not seen no day in court for them at all. This is unfair, and government needs to look into it. We are now in democracy, not when the military was ruling us, but now in democratic environment. There should be guarantee to all freedom, basic freedom that I've mentioned above, and it's the duty of any government to allow the citizens to exercise that freedom. So the government, the incoming government, because this is what the current government is going, the incoming government, whosoever emerges as a president, must take as priority the basic human rights guaranteed by our constitution. Of course, all the party manifestos, they were written there already. But even if it's not written there, if it's not expressly stated, it could be implied as anything that is not in accordance with the constitution is not allowed. So the parties, anyone that emerges from the party must make sure that they do well for the people.
Okay, before this current administration winds down and then it transits to the next government, there is still life in between. And that is the process of the electioneering, which we are in already. So how do you think this, human rights can be ingrained in, into politics, manifestos, etc., to ensure that human rights are actually respected in the electioneering process?
Like I said earlier, it is already in the party manifestos. All the parties, they have the basic human rights there. But the problem we have is the implementation of that right. So it depends on who emerges as even as it is now, the election that is coming in 2023, we need people to exert their rights, which one of them is to vote. So where there is use of thuggery or arbitrary police arrest of the people, then things will not go well because people's rights will be infringed upon. So even in this current administration that we are still in, they can still do a lot. The sun that is shining is sufficient to dry the cloth that is outside. So the current, even the limited time that they have now, they can make a fundamental change. And we need the cooperation of the people and the police. The police are overstressed now because of the political problem in the some people are being escorted by 4 or 5 police. So there are no adequate police officers. Some of these things should be withdrawn and concentrate on the people for the preparation of the election.
Right. All right. Former president of National Movement for Positive Change, Niyi Agborisade, thank you so much for your keenness of insights on human rights issues, especially in Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you.